There are certain events that separate our lives into before and after. Usually those events are very personal: weddings, births, deaths. But on September 11th, 2001, one of those events happened to all of us. As the 25th anniversary approaches, Frank Misa at Strike Gold Shave and Jerry Plessy, the ShaveDad, reached out to ask if we would cover this soap because it's a fundraiser where 100% of the proceeds are going to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, one of the most respected charities in the United States. And since Mr. Rogers always reminds us to look for the helpers and help them where we can, we told them both we would be honored. Welcome to our 9/11 Remembrance episode. Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But every Wednesday and Saturday,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, friends, come on in. Thank you for being here for this very special episode. And for our mention today, I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. It was founded in 2001 in memory of New York firefighter Stephen Siller, who died on 9/11. Its focus is primarily fallen and catastrophically injured first responders, military veterans, Gold Star families, and homeless veterans. Their major programs include mortgage-free homes for catastrophically injured veterans and first responders, mortgage-free homes for families of first responders killed on the line of duty, particularly families with younger children, assistance to Gold Star families, housing and supportive services for homeless veterans, and 9/11 education and remembrance through their 9/11 Institute. This is a highly respected charity, and all of their documentation is publicly available on their website. And since Frank and Jerry were kind enough to send this to our channel for free to review, we were not going to let them get away with that, and we made a donation for the price of this set to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. So y'all, come along with us as we meet the soap. All right, from the sales page at strikegoldshave.com.
25 years later, we remember, we honor, we give back. For the 25th anniversary of 9/11, ShaveDad Jerry and Frank from Strike Gold Shave have come together for a very special benefit collaboration. Jerry is a retired New York City police officer, and Frank is a retired Port Authority police officer. September 11th is a day that personally affected both of us, and this collaboration is our way of honoring those we lost, those who served, and the families who continue to carry their sacrifice. The scent is an homage to Beau de Jour by Tom Ford, a classic sophisticated fragrance that we felt was fitting for this special release. The collection will include shave soap, aftershave, and the usual ancillary products. 100% of the proceeds from this benefit soap will benefit Tunnel to Towers.
If you'd like to support this cause but don't want to purchase any products, that's absolutely okay. We've also provided a direct donation link to Tunnel to Towers through the Strike Gold Shave campaign, where you can make a contribution in any amount.
This is more than just a shave soap. It's a collaboration between two retired New York police officers, created to honor the men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice and to support the important work of Tunnel to Towers. Never forget.
All right, y'all, let's open this very special box. All right, y'all, this is how it arrives from Strike Gold Shave. I'm guessing that's the splash.
Okay.
Why don't you open that? Oh, the soap is nicely wrapped. Let's see what we've got here. Oh. That is beautiful artwork. Look at that. There's the memorial there in front, and then the two towers behind it, the American flag. It's hard to believe. It's been 25
That's
years.
Insane.
Wow. All right, y'all, come along with us for this first impression.
I can't really tell if it's sunrise or sunset, but it still is very a fitting image to see.
It's kind of haunting. I think it might be sunrise on the morning of 9/11, the last time the sun would rise
Were there.
on the towers. Well, it's fitting because Beau de Jour is a barbershop. Tom Ford's barbershop. And is there anything more American than a barbershop? We've even got our barbershop brush and bowl ready to go.
Ready.
And it says courage, unity, remembrance, forever in our hearts, always in our gratitude. All right, taking it in, here we go. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful scent. Something about the cause And the scent itself takes me back to something I heard in church a long time ago. God doesn't fix things. He makes them new again. And I love that this is a barbershop scent where the smell of sending you out, brand new, well-groomed, put together to face the day is so fitting for this cause. Y'all, it's an homage to Tom Ford, so it's not like these scent notes are going to all jump out in their individual personalities. It's going to be about a magnificent balance and a new personality being created by the scent notes. It's not your normal barbershop because it doesn't go powdery. It doesn't really go floral. It's more about the herbs and the woods in the middle. But my brain just sees a field of white, super clean, but intense. It is a very strong personality, and it's comforting. It's like feeling the hand of your favorite barber on your shoulder while he does his work. Okay, hold on. Let me see what I can actually find as far as scent notes go. Okay, for me, it opens the door with something herby, something between rosemary, basil, a very clean type of patchouli, somewhere in there. Things that you might find out in nature, and they're in that form. Sitting under that is a bed of very barbershop-y florals, but none that you would recognize from outside, kind of the way that florals are used in barber powder, in baby powder, that kind of a thing. And the florals do create something powdery as it descends down into the base notes, but I'm getting something like woody at the very bottom, but not like camping woods. These woods are like refined, clean, and white, not bark, like the inside of the wood itself. There are some lovely musks going on in here, hedione kind of things that remind you of fresh, clean white towels out of the dryer at the barbershop with maybe just a little bit of the world's best fabric softener on them, that kind of a thing. Like I said, it makes you feel well taken care of. And then as your nose circles back, there is like a gentle citrus in here, I think, like very gentle, nothing tart, nothing tangy, as New Yorker George Carlin used to say. No, this is like a very light aldehyde-ish, bergamot perhaps, or something like that. And it's very light, maybe 5% of what's going on in here. And then, y'all, when you take a step back, those all come together to create something almost rocky. Like, I think the reason I'm getting white is that my brain is taking this in as like a granite with little streaks of black through it, like the barber's counter, right? At the barbershop, the old barbershops that had like marble counters. Almost like chalky and talky with kind of a sweet edge to it, the way barber powder, not baby powder, but barber powder used to be like, right? Does anybody else have a barber that's old school, that still has a big old shaving brush that he dips in barber powder and does your neck with? At the end, our barbershop that's a few doors down, he still does that and has this little thing that helps massage your shoulders. It's that. It makes you feel well taken care of. It was his dad's barbershop before his. He's like 70 years old now, and he remembers picking up clippings off the floor when he was 5 years old. It's that kind of tradition. It's kind of spoken of in this. Although, with a lovely modern, like, twist to it. You know you're in that barbershop today, looking back. Not back then, looking forward. And then here's the magic of Tom Ford. With all of that put together, it is still definitively masculine. I mean, I think it would be lovely on you, or really any lady that I know, but it's got a very masculine heart to it. Clean, kind, comforting. And then as I dive down into the base again, I'm kind of discovering what the patchouli's really doing, if that's what I'm sensing in here. It's kind of a mouth-watering patchouli, the way it used to be in the earliest gourmand accords. That's right, patchouli in gourmands. Just kind of makes you want to bite down on something. It's got a cold briskness to it. Well, kind of fitting, like the beginning of autumn, like an early September morning, particularly in New York City somehow. And while it does go pretty sweet, it doesn't overpower. It's the kind of sweet you do sense in rocks when you're on a hike. You know how nature has kind of a sweetness to it as the sun comes up in the morning, like the sunrise here? It's that kind of a sweet. And look at my face, It does not go metallic at all, but there's still something that reminds me of the steel of a straight edge barber's razor in this. Somehow reflective, chromy, kind of something going on. This is one of my new favorite barbershops of all time. This is stunning. Well, the way Sterling's barbershop goes nostalgic and vintage,
right?
This is like 10 years in the future.
Okay.
Kind of barbershop. Super modern.
It sounds shiny and clean, kind of.
It really is.
See, sometimes there's barbershops that have your favorite oak mossy kind of vibe. Are we getting that in this at all?
No.
Okay.
I'm bringing you glad tidings of great joy. I am not getting oak moss in this. So if it is in here, which it might be, it's being used, well, correctly.
We didn't look at all the scent notes, so it may not even be listed, but I just was curious in the barbershop-y lane, you know.
As green as it gets is a little bit of a basil, maybe.
Okay.
Kind of a thing, but a sweet basil.
Okay.
Like your Italian grandma with a mortar and pestle kind of thing, about to make pesto with some pine nuts. All right, I'm excited to see
Me too.
what you're going to get from this beautiful scent. All right, take it in.
Oh, this part of the label even says, in honor of the innocent, the brave, and those who answered the call.
Yeah.
Very, very thoughtful label, my friends. I just keep finding more little details in here. Alrighty. Oh, you're right. Okay, somehow, I know that this is a Tom Ford homage, or at least a Cologne House version of a barbershop.
Yeah.
There is an interesting, like, airy version that's happening with this one. I totally get why you were hinting at, like, clean linen and gentle powders, but then also a super future kind of version of this. Yeah. Okay, the only scent note I did see when I was perusing the page was lavender. This is a different type of lavender,
yes,
though.
Right.
There are multiple versions. I'm not sure exactly which one this is, if it's more the French one or the whatever one, but there's like two portions. One side of it is like a deeper purple to me, and the other side is like a barely lavender approaching color.
Yeah, it's almost the lavender from Lavender Noir for me, but without the spiciness.
Yes,
like
it doesn't
a
go
light
dark.
Version of that.
And that really is playing to like the depth of what this scent actually means for me. Right. It's oddly calming. And then that goes into some kind of a deeper spice, not peppery, but kind of effervescent-y somehow.
Yes.
Like it's alive. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's not the normal barbershop where it goes a little more green or blue. This is where it diverges into some kind of a spicy wood or something. It has like a amber color, but not an amber hue necessarily. So it's kind of this sunset, sunrisey kind of feel. I don't know if that could make sense, but at least that's where it's taking me.
And that's a great observation. Nothing medicinal in this.
Yeah.
Nothing like the barbicide that the combs are sitting in. You know what I mean?
But I think that's where you were almost getting the basil, but like a very kind of fine-tuned version. There's something that's either turned up or just magnified about it. It's super surreal to me because I didn't know if the scent would do this or the concept, but I think it's actually the scent for me that's taking me here. So when I did visit the memorial, the monument here in New York, it's crazy to think of how quiet it was. Like, this city is loud. There's a lot of people, a lot of things happening. And I could have sworn I was on, like, a different side of the planet as soon as I entered. Like, even all my dance company members, we were there, and, like, we didn't even want to talk to each other. Like, just the silence, it was like a silence, a kind of reverence going on. And somehow that's where this scent is taking me. I know it's meant to be a barbershop, but there's something so calm about it that it just kind of has that pause and that silence that kicks in like a comforting way, not an eerie, creepy way.
And the pictures you're seeing, Sarah took herself at the memorial.
There are some greens in here. It might be oak moss, but it almost is just creating like that there's like some sort of a real life tree or something natural greenery around me.
Right.
So I think the basil kind of pulls me then into that deeper layer of maybe an oak mossy approaching kind of a thing, but it's needed to make it masculine, like what you were mentioning. It just makes it more real. It doesn't pull the scent deeper and darker. It just has a breath of fresh air somehow.
Maybe a little bit of rosemary, but like just the cooling part of the rosemary, if that makes sense.
I see why you got the marble countertop. Like, there's something shiny clean about this, but you know when you put your hand on actual granite or marble, it's cold? That's coming through in here. So when you mentioned the rosemary almost approaching minty basil-y kind of thing, it's just adding that. I don't know how to explain it better. It's not that it has a menthol cooling effect, but it does have like a coldness to it. Right. I don't know how this can approach being powdery without being powdery. But it does. It's not, I know why you were like, it's not baby powder and it's not quite talky, but there is something powdery clean.
Yes.
So it is almost more of a fresh linen-y version of a powder.
Yep.
If that could make sense. But it's not enough that it makes it blue. It's still a white kind of color for me.
Not blue, not aquatic at all.
This is oddly like the most masculine lavender. Like, it's way more crisp and clean. I first read that and thought it might be, I know it's used in barbershops, but I thought that might be a little bit more feminine, like I could kind of attach to that side of it. It's not that I wouldn't use this, but I would almost use this more meditative or like calming than I would use it for like a personal scent for me, if that could come across. Like it is more masculine overall, but I think I would still use it just because of what it means versus like for me as a daily scent.
It's not the scent of adventure.
No.
For me, it's the scent of being taken care of. Again, Tunnel to Towers.
Yeah.
Look for the helpers.
There's a confidence in here. There's a calm, but there's also a confidence.
Right. Calm is a great word too.
Yeah. I, there's something about that that's kind of like reverent in the silence itself. Right. So it is really kind of like rebuilding yourself for after a moment like this. Yeah. There's oddly hope in here too. I think that's what we're both getting at. Like there is something pretty about this and reassuring and confidence, but it does almost like have the idea of it being more of a sunrise. Like you could take on the next day more than I was expecting.
Well, come along with us, y'all. We're going to take a look at these scent notes and build you a lather. All right, from the sales page at strikegoldshave.com, we start with top notes. Boy, were you right about this?
I knew there wasn't just one.
Different kinds of lavender in this. The top notes are lavender extract and fresh lavender.
Two different concepts.
Right,
okay.
There you go.
I didn't even read that part.
Faces of it. Fabulous.
But that makes sense because we're getting something lighter and more airy and someone that has a little bit more base to it. So it totally works here.
And when I mentioned the potency, that's the lavender extract. So like the heart, right? The strong singer part of the
almost
lavender.
like a boozy version of a lavender, if that could make sense.
But it doesn't go lavender diva.
No.
Which for me almost borders on like a bleachy scent.
It's not that.
No. It's almost like a dried kind of lavender sense for me.
So I think that's why I kept getting two different colors of purple in my head. I didn't know what they were coming from, but this makes a lot more sense. And then we have heart notes. Okay, here's all the green fun.
There we go.
Rosemary, oak moss, mint, and basil. So all of those were actually in there along with geranium. So that might be the clean white kind of portion we're getting.
I have never picked out scent notes better in my life. I did not read these.
No, we didn't read
this episode, but I got the rosemary, I got the mint, I got the basil.
I got the oak moss.
I got the patchouli, which is coming. You got the oak moss. But y'all, look at my face. This is oak moss approved. It's being used perfectly in here. I can't even really tell it's in here. So it's just kind of the canvas that these others are sitting on. And then there's another floral to go along with the lavender, the geranium, a small white
but oddly masculine and clean and like refreshing.
And that's part of what's given me the rocky sense a little bit.
Okay, and then I guess we were both right for the base notes because you said patchouli and I said amber. So go team.
You can always find the amber in these soaps. Amber being a fantasy perfumer's note, but it's done pretty faithfully in here. That beautiful yellow rocky sense at the bottom, almost vanilla-ish.
I wonder if that's why you were almost hinting at the gourmandy next to the patchouli. Somehow these were working together.
And you know what's funny? Sometimes when you read the scent notes for Tom Ford or anything that's like super sophisticated like this, you're like, wow, I can't really tell what that's going to smell like by reading the scent notes. But with this one, I feel like if you really read the scent note list and kind of construct it in your brain, you'll have a pretty good idea of what this is going to smell like. But with some Tom Ford inspiration thrown in.
My first whiff, if I hadn't connected the barbershop vibe, I think I would have gotten like a super fancy brand new hotel or something.
Yeah.
Like there's something very clean and kind of fancy about it, but it's also pretty grounded at the same time.
Yeah. And just full disclosure, Tom Ford is not the actual perfumer behind his perfumes. He just knows the right people to hire to do it for him. So this being a barbershop and a 9/11 remembrance soap, I grabbed my red, white, and blue brush and my red, white, and blue bowl. This was made by Grizzly Bay in honor of my 50th birthday, and all I told the man was I wanted a barbershop-inspired brush, and look what he did. Look at the red and blue in that. And then the center of the handle, a strong, like, ivory sort of color.
Yeah, it has a little iridescence going on.
And Monica, deep in the heart of Texas at Vanulay, made me this bowl a few years ago in Barbershop Colors, custom resin. She'll do the same thing for you. Single color bowls start at under $25 if you want to get your own. And I'm just going to scoop out a little bit of this soap and gently tuck it into the ridges of this bowl. You don't have to push down very hard. And I'm just going to make a fine layer of this soap for the bristles to pull against. And then our red, white, and blue Barbershop Bougie Sprayer from Sean and Julie Smaldridge. Thanks, y'all. Jerry, we did just clean this out this morning. Jerry reminds us of that. And let's take a moment to mention the ShaveDad Facebook group that Jerry Plessy is the moderator of. It is a fabulous place for the newbie and the seasoned shaver alike to hang out. Tons of information, shaves the day. You can ask all kinds of questions. There's a flea market section. Awesome. We love it. All right. I'm not going to soak this brush because Craig at Opus Brush forbids us from doing that, but I am going to get the tips of the bristles a little bit moist and then start drawing the soap up onto them like this.
If you look closely on the label, it says we will never forget on one side, and on the other side, it lists out the flight numbers.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Flight 11, Flight 175.
One of the most haunting photographs I saw of 9/11 was actually the parking lot at the terminal, where there were about 100 cars that were left there because their owners never came back to get them. The story of the passengers on Flight 93 is absolutely extraordinary. Just a group of everyday Americans going about their lives who decided to just rise as one and say, no, this is not happening. No matter what we have to do, this plane is not getting to its intended target. Look at this.
It's falling out of the
this is a badger knot, and it's not stealing any of this lather. All right, y'all. I know we never talk about lather here in the Barbershop Duet. Look at that. You can hardly even see the honeycomb in there. Beautiful. And I feel like it's appropriate to make this the Tunnel to Towers with. On 3. 1, 2. Wow. It just spreads out a little more. I can really tell what the water's doing to it in there. Oh, yeah. Yeah. A little bit more rocky, a little bit more minty in there. The rosemary's coming out a little bit more.
I actually get more of like the white kind of hue coming through here.
Right, yes. The cold granite sense is there. And we know that our friend Barry Bedford at Texan Shaves even came out of retirement to cover this soap. Check out what's going to be one of his last 1 or 2 videos ever. But we don't do shaving here in the Barbershop Duet. We thought you might like to see what this lather looks like when it coats and covers a moneymaker. Oh, that just feels good. Oh, and I love how intense it is, but you still want more of it. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a good scent intensity.
Yeah, but it doesn't like overpower.
No.
There's not like a point where I'd be like, that's enough. And now I really want to try that splash. Come along with us, y'all. We're going to take this down a little bit deeper. I've had an odd handful of supernatural things happen to me over the course of my life. Sometimes we talk about them at the end of our In Conversation series interviews. But one of them that I've never talked about happened on September 10th, 2001. About 6 o'clock at night, the night before the tragedy, I stood up from my chair, turned off the TV, and had the insane need to clean my apartment. Now, it was only a little bit cluttered, but y'all, I spent the next 6 or 7 hours washing every piece of clothing I had, washing every piece of bedding, washing all of the blankets, washing down walls that weren't dirty, vacuuming everything, scrubbing the floors. I had never done that before, polished the chrome in the bathroom. And I didn't go to bed until 3:30 in the morning, despite having to be up at 6 a.m. the next day. I would never normally have done that. But I even remember tipping up the bed and vacuuming under it to make sure that my house was in order. And I'm sure there was some kind of tie-in that my brain or the universe was tapping into something that was about to happen, that was monumental, because that's what it felt like. And then when the radio turned on the next morning, which was my alarm, and I heard what was happening, I just started shaking. And like the rest of us, just sat in front of the TV and watched. Okay, well, hold on. Not to get too mawkish while we still have this beautiful soap left to smell. You have a little bit of foam left on your nose. All right. I am very happy to wear this the rest of the day. I shaved last night with my Yates, so there's not much left to shave today. You know how that razor goes.
Got it on the dog, but that's okay.
Oh, that's
still smell
fine.
fabulous.
That's fine. David Jacobs puts aftershave on his dog, too.
Does it smell good?
Oh, this is even better in the splash.
Yeah, it has this like see-through transparent thing for me. I don't know how else to say that, but it comes out even more in the splash. Like I really do feel like it's the best cologne version of a barbershop somehow.
And are you seeing the delicate shine on my face from the skin food inside of this aftershave. I'm not going to have to use my beard oil.
I thought the greens were going to turn up more because there's such a good chunk of the midsection, but it just add this airy cleanliness to it instead. I don't get as much of the powderyness as I did here.
Okay.
I think I'm getting a little bit more of the clean lavendery, like maybe more the extract versus the other one in this version. But I would use the splash more than I thought. I think whatever's difference in the soap, that I would actually reach for the splash still, even more.
Yeah, this is the scent of how my favorite barber makes me feel, and I have known him since I was a little boy. So there's a lot of comfort to going to that barbershop for me, and this is the smell of that feeling.
It is the perfect kind of scent, so I'm glad both of you decided that this would fit. I get it. It really fits.
Frank, Jerry, of any scent you could have chosen for this one was perfect. So it's pretty simple, y'all. Just be a wet shaver like me who remembers living through 9/11 and everything that meant and everything that we went through. And as the 25th anniversary approaches, you're going to wonder if there's a way that inside of this hobby, there can be something that you can get to help mark this occasion and remind yourself of the insane amount of bravery that those helpers showed on that day. And if it can be a benefit where 100% of the proceeds are going to go to a fabulous charity that still helps the people who remain from that incident, what a fabulous way to get your own. So head over to Strike Gold Shave to find this and a bunch of other stuff I want. Well, I've had my shave, y'all, and the first thing that struck me about this set after getting to know it a little bit is the level of quality in the oil that they use to make it. We have a ton of Tom Ford homages and a few samples of the actual juice. This is the level of nuance and intensity I would expect from the real thing. It's fabulous. And the first two ingredients in this soap are stearic acid and tallow, so it was no surprise to me when I got a really thick, rich lather that was absolutely slick and protective. A fabulous shave from this base. Thank you, Frank and Jerry. We'll be back. Hey, welcome to Messages.
So for our August giveaway, we wanted to give you a chance to get $25 to Adopted Acres.
That's right, y'all. And all you have to do to be eligible for this giveaway is send us an email here to WeSentYou@theBarbershopDuet.com so we can get back to you. It's the only way we communicate about our giveaways, and then check back here on our first September episode to see if you are our lucky winner.
Best of luck.
The worst part about 9/11 for me is that I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what I was looking at, and I still don't. That level of destruction so far away on the opposite side of the country, and yet where all of my friends working in theater in New York City were having to witness it firsthand, some of them standing just outside of the towers when it happened. I do not understand war, and even less do I understand terrorism. But in times where I'm looking for the helpers, I often go to the words of one of our American presidents who said, "Let us not be blind to our differences, but let us also direct attention to our common interests and to the means by which those differences can be resolved. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's futures. And we are all mortal. God bless you and thank you for being here.
God bless America.
God bless us all."